Hey everyone, it's TooneySA back with another episode. This time I'm going to give myself the ambitious attempt at trying to complete Hurricos with all 4 challenges in a single episode. Starting with the no charging challenge. So of course we've got to traverse back to where Hurricos is. Every time I start the challenge run, it's going to put me right outside Glimmer, because that's where the homeworld starts. And as stated before, once we enter the water, it does not qualify as charging, only if we charge under the water. We missed out on a couple of vases, as you can see, that we can't collect, but let's ignore those and continue on with Glimmer. I believe this challenge run was on something like 12 or so %, I don't remember exactly. And again, we're greeted with some more vases that we cannot open, so we've got to ignore those as well. Now, Glimmer, the second half of the world, is assuming that we've entered this underwater kingdom and we're in the castle now. And we come to some of my favourite levels in the game, or at least 2 of them anyway. Hurricos, unfortunately, is not one of them. Hurricos is a very grim, dull, sort of mechanical theme level, and Sunny Beach is just pure joy. Get ourselves a 1-up. Let's have a bit of a scoot around Summer Forest first. We're only going to do this part of Summer Forest, no point in doing the later areas. And then we're going to hop straight into Hurricos. Here I am, da 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 da, rock you like a Hurricos, da 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 da. Now, Hurricos, it shows those purple kind of enemies as quite a prominent figure in the intro cutscene, but they're not going to play that much of a prominent role until one of the challenges.
Trouble with the gear grinders, but now they've set up force fields to separate us. If you can find diodes, you can use them to turn off the force field.
Just realised my screen was slightly off camera there. I've dragged it back into place now. Whoops-a-daisy. Okay, we've always had trouble with the gear grinders, so our job is to save these guys, the Electrolls. And yep, you're not going crazy, that is the voice of SpongeBob, Tom Kenny, playing that character. Our job in this stage is quite simple. There's a lot of gates being blocked off. We need to defeat enemies and open each gate with a diode. I don't believe you take damage if you don't have a diode, but I think you get bounced away. Also littered around the level are going to be windmills. These windmills are used for a skill point that we can luckily obtain. I was going to try and give a demonstration of what happens if we don't have a diode. Let's see. Nothing, okay. It doesn't even bounce you back. You just kind of walk into the electricity endlessly. These enemies also kind of remind most people of Ratchet and Clank. We got like a yellowish dude with a spanner and then a small robo dude. So there's like heavy speculation that this is where they got the idea of Ratchet and Clank from. And I don't think it's too far-fetched considering the similarities. Those enemies, they deliver a kind of siren sound. The big enemies, I guess we're going to call them the Ratchets, and the small enemies, we're going to call them the Clanks. The Ratchets kind of just stand there and hit you with their wrench to throw a spanner in the works if you get too close to them. And the Clanks, well, they clank around until you get too close, launch a siren sound, and sort of hone in on the player. They then hit you and then back off readily. So they don't try too hard. That guy didn't. That guy was like right next to us, and he didn't even try. Weirdly enough, despite being robots, they do still have souls. Apparently, make of that what you will. And unfortunately, I say unfortunately, we could make it up to this section now, but on the flaming only challenge, I kind of like to keep things structured to play the game as intended as much as possible until I absolutely need to break it. I think that's fair. We also must try not to die, because otherwise it resets the windmills and we have to collect them all over again, which is just an annoyance. Now we come to some different kind of fans that require supercharge to break open. As you can see, we need 18 souls to get supercharge. Good luck doing that when we can only kill half of the enemies. Because with every ratchet, there's a clank. With every wheel, there's a smith. Get some gems here. Alright, and we're already at like a side area. I remember playing this area... Oh, and a windmill. I remember playing this area as a kid, and it used to kind of terrify me. I don't know why, just at the back over here, because of the creepy enemies we're about to come into contact with. So our job here is to replace some lightning stones and catch thieves. It has a 4-star difficulty, and it's actually more difficult in this version than the Reignited, but still not what I'd call a difficult quest. It's quite straightforward, really. Just pick these up, throw them in. If you're silly like me and miss, then they sort of auto-hone to some extent. Not quite that much. Not that much, come on. Got me break. There we go. Once you get like 3 or 4 in, these guys will start to appear and start stealing the stones. Our job is to catch them. And as they are thieves, they are a little bit faster than our normal enemies, so it might be a bit of a challenge considering we can't charge. We're about to find out though. Any second now. Where are you? They don't want to come out to play yet. Interesting. Usually they come out after like 3 or 4. There we go. That scary sound plays and some thieves appear. I've never actually seen them appear, so I have no idea where exactly they spawn from. Our job then is to let them kind of run around slowly with their balls. Sounds funny. And then, you know, kill them. Brutally murder them. Despite being sentient beings, these characters don't actually drop souls. I guess it's because this is supposed to be like an optional side quest. Yeah, this quest is going to be more of an annoyance than like a particular, like, massive amount of challenge. Because we just have to walk to get the same guys. Now this guy can be a bit tricky. We need to do a jump to get him, otherwise he'll jump right over us, and then we'll have missed our opportunity to get him. If he successfully jumps over us, he will sort of like vanish. He will like disappear somewhere. And it'll mean that we missed out on a chance to get all 3 kills. Where are they? There's one there. I don't know if they have some kind of way to track where the player is to make sure they don't spawn exactly where the player is. So they do a pretty good job of not like spawning right into me. So 5, so we're halfway there. But yeah, just a bit tedious. Definitely holds a little bit more interest when you're a kid and you're like, oh god, the scary monsters are coming in, they're stealing my balls. man. There they are. No, only these guys over there have appeared. Oh no, there's more. There, ah. We was ready for him. Look at that ambush that I laid. Intentionally, of course. Same guy reappears, steals the same ball. Predictable. It's going to keep triggering them. I guess there's a certain amount of power that you need to put in the battery elements that will trigger them spawning. So if I just ignore these guys and keep putting them in. Where's he going? You just saw him jump over me and then completely disappear. So I got to show you that at least. Just a hop, skip, and a jump. Where are you? Whoa! Proxy! He was not slowing down for anyone. If I just stay here, it'll keep spawning the same guy to steal that one rock over and over again. I guess not. I guess the other two must already be spawned somewhere, so it can't. This here keeps track of how much power we've got. There's obviously... I think there are 10 balls, but I'm not sure. Maybe 8 balls. Wow! That guy was lightning fast. Too bad he can't keep up the same momentum when he actually steals the ball. Kinda would have been more interesting if they'd just taken the blue thieves from the first Spyro and then just used those to do this quest. Alright. There we go. That was quite easy. Just a bit long. I actually anticipate that to be more of a challenge.
Thank you, Spyro. I found this shiny thing mixed up with our lightning stones. Please.
Because I thought the guys... I misremembered that those guys being a little bit more sneaky and crafty and fast and agile and any other synonym with those words. Turns out they're not as skillful as I thought. But yeah, there's no gems in that area, so I don't really need to look around or anything like that. I can just turn to the main area, back to reality. Killing all the squishes, just like Dr. Nefarious would want, and leaving all the robots alive. Even if I could get supercharge, I'm not allowed to use it, as it still counts as charge. So we're only halfway through the enemies as a result. Ow. Alright, there's another diode in this area that I need to pay attention at for. I'm just going to kill all the enemies I can kill just because I can. Die reference. And there's the diode. I can't get those vases, unfortunately. And it's unfortunate because there's a good amount of gems. Oh, and there we just kind of saw like an idle animation that I'll have to show on one of the other challenges now. Eventually these silver guys do run out of battery, and one of their idle animations is that one of the big ratchets has to sort of like crank them up so they can keep moving. That guy just menacingly standing there watching our every move. I feel like a minority in a convenience store. I do, however, want this live because I'm nearly dead. There we go. Right, this means that now I have enough stuff to go into the final area. Get some gems. And this is where the Talisman Room is.
Thank you, Spyro. You've deactivated all of the electric barriers. We've been guarding this talisman from the gear grinders. Please,
don't mind if I do.
As a reward.
Could say that Spyro has great cognitive ability to figure out this puzzle. Ah, there's some gems I missed. Leave me alone. Just want the gems. I don't even want to steal your life. Now, we're at a bit of a problem because we need supercharge to open a stairway that leads up those stairs. You speak to this guy who tells you to glide over to this roof. You then get completely stopped by that fan and have to break this fan down here. which is not flammable, to open a button, to then glide across a yada yada yada. You then glide from there to over there, you pick up some gems, which I would like those gems. Glide, 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 over these machineries that are opening and closing, and then that puts you at the halfway point. We obviously can't do that because we don't have supercharge, so we're going to need some kind of backup plan. If only I could think of one. Oops. How clumsy of me. Double oops. Oh my god. I can't get out of here. Whee. Thank you, game. I would have been stuck there forever. And we just have to let Spyro fall here. I'm not sure if there's a faster way to make him fall. I'll have to check that. But we get some gems anyway. And then what we're supposed to do once we're up at this halfway point is glide over there after destroying some more fans, pressing some more buttons, so that we can eventually get around to some gems over there and the latter part of the quest. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that, so we're going to have to talk to this guy at the halfway point.
Spyro, you've done well so far. You can have this little trinket for good luck. If you have any questions about shutting down the factory, just ask me.
So we got this orb completely out of order. We're supposed to speak to a completely different guy first and then come back for it.
The next glides
get tricky. You'll have to use your hover maneuver.
Remember to press triangle when you are very close to the windmill, or you won't...
You won't make it, Spyro. 5 stars. Okay, we got a 5-star difficulty quest. I think the first part's like a 3-star, but we're not going to go that way just yet. We're going to actually backtrack, because there are some gems with our name on it earlier on. Right, that comes out. That comes out. No! You monster. Oh. Mild inconvenience. Just have to go back and do the accident jump again to launch myself 1 billion feet in the air. Whee! Then we can glide. And then forget where we're actually supposed to be going. It's down there somewhere. Just enjoy the weather. Oh, look how high we are. Let's try and... Ah! Alright, this is where I wanted to go anyway, over here. We go over here. Pick up these gems that we came over here for. And then we're at another problem, in that we're kind of stuck here. And we're gonna kind of glide around here. I'm not sure if I can make this jump. I think I can. This will enable us to get a bit of extra height if I can get up here. There we go. And this actually puts us at the end of the quest that we had just been a part of. But then we go and speak to this guy.
Spyro, help! The switch to turn off the gear grinder factory is in that room, but, it's awfully noisy in there.
Okay, we speak to this guy. We can now actually just go in here and complete the quest. Back to front.
Thanks for shutting down the factory. Here, I found this stuck between the gears. You can have it if you want.
Yep, I'll take it. Alright, that puts us on 12 orbs. So we got all orbs. Not really much of an issue. Should be an issue if we can flame, but yet Spyro being Spyro. And the best part is now all of the platforms stay stationary. So we can just very simply glide over to here. We don't even really need the double jump, you can make it without it. Just to be certain. Get our skill point. And you can see there's some gems up there that we now need to try and get. I'm not sure if I can make that jump. Yes, you can, which means that it saves me doing a bit of an annoying jump a little bit later, which means we can get back up here, like so. And we can glide over here, like so. Alright, then we're going to backtrack again to go back towards the Talisman Room, because we haven't completely got everything in there that we want. Well, not the Talisman Room itself, but like this area of the level. We missed a couple of gems that I now need to use some height here to get up to. Like so. You can see there's a hole in the roof. You can actually get to the trophy room. Not trophy room, the... what's it called? The Talisman Room through that hole in the roof, if you really want to. We're gonna focus on gliding over here. Hope I can make this jump, not look like a fool. Yes, I can. Get some 10 gems here. Backtrack our way to where the start of the quest was. I'm not sure if this guy will even talk to us now.
Spyro, do you see that big building over there? The gear grinders are using it to steal our electricity. Please help us by shutting down the machinery inside.
Been there, done that. Got the orb. We drop down these stairs, and here we are behind the fan that we were supposed to open. You can see that like metallic dude who just can't reach us. So that's pretty funny. I believe that's all the gems that we can get, because the rest should be in containers that we can't open. Just going to quickly go around here one last time to have one more look. See if I've missed any gems up here. I mean, the fans have all completely slowed down now anyway, so it's pretty nice, but yeah, I believe everything else is just gems I can't get. So we're going to exit the level here. We got 299 out of 400 gems, so what's the word? 75% of the way there, approximately. Get treated to a nice cutscene as a reward. Okay, so then we do a quick save here to make sure that it saves us outside the level, which it should anyway. And then we do a hot swap to the next challenge, which is the charge only challenge, no flame. Doing Hurricos again. Still on slot 1, it should also tell us the percent. We're up to 19% on the challenge we just did now. Measly 12% on this challenge, so see if this goes better. I am going to have to take a second to input the cheat code. That's why the camera was initially off screen in the previous part, because I was moving it over so I can take a look at the cheat code to change Spyro's beautiful scale color. Well, not change the color really, tint it. Okay, so let's do the code again. This time we're going into blue. Spyro, is it? I think it's blue. Or green? Is it blue or green? Let me quickly double check that. Alright, that one's red. I think it is green. Looks like it's green. Yes, it is, it's green. Okay, so the color cheat code for green Spyro is... Sing it along with me. Pause. And we do... Up, right, down, left, up, square, R1, R2, L1, L2, up, left, down, right, up. Followed by the key, which is triangle. And there we go. Also exits the pause menu for us. I can charge again! I believe in charging, yeah. Which means more backtracking to Hurricos. And I like to always double check. Got the orb up there, yes I did. Continue on the level, just confirm I got the vases down here as well, because I'm a bugger for forgetting which challenges can get those vases and which can't. Yes, we have, okay. If I'm not mistaken, I should be able to 100% the home world in this challenge, just as a bit of a foreshadowing. Can't think of anything that should block me out of the challenge of doing that. So, that should be nice. Oop.
I saw something shiny at the top of this wall. You could probably get it, but you'll have to learn how to climb first.
Oh yeah, I should really let Zoe say the thing that she wanted to say to the first guy.
You're well on your way, Spyro. Keep collecting talismans to help us defeat Ripto before he can take over Avalar.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
Oh, and keep collecting those orbs, too. The professor thinks they will help you get back to the Dragon World.
So, Zoe does actually do a lot of foreshadowing there to tell you that the orbs are important. A lot of people are like, oh, you collect all the talismans and the orbs weren't really given much in the way of dialogue to tell you that they're important until it's too late. And then you're like, oh, I should have done all those side quests. But if you do take the time to listen to Zoe, she basically does heavily imply that you're going to need those later on. We can't go up here yet because we need climb, and we've done kind of what we did in the other challenge in the homeworld area here. So off to Hurricos it is again. This time I'll let the cutscene play a second time just purely because he was a little bit off screen during the first run and I didn't realise it on time. That's my bad. That guy kind of just disappeared from the start of the level to the end. I only just realised that. It's interesting, but weird. Okay, here we go.
We've always had trouble with the gear grinders, but now they've set up force fields to separate us. If you can find diodes, you can use them to turn off the force fields.
There's a diode around here somewhere, but my eyesight's not great. It's like 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters to the right. We obviously can't kill this dude because it requires flame. He's much too large. Let's see if we can just bypass him. Alright. Now, just for fun, I'm going to show you the secret ending to this stage. Are you ready? Oh, yeah. We're actually behind the quest, and now... Hello, Talisman.
Thank you, Spyro. You've deactivated all of the
Oh,
electric
shucks, it was
barriers.
nothing.
We've been guarding this talisman from the gear grinders. Please, take it as a reward.
It was nothing. Alright, so, yeah, we finished the level. Bye. Let's go. No, just kidding. We're gonna do the level now in reverse order just to shake it up from the previous challenge. Oh god, no, we're trapped in here forever. Oh crap. Never mind. Punishment for our hubris. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy being able to just dart around for a little bit now. See if I can get those guys to do one of their idle animations, but actually I'll do that in the Pacifist run because there's like no violence at all in the Pacifist run, so we can kind of get an enjoying look of them in their natural habitats. Okay, not quite as aggressive as some of the enemies in Spyro 1, which would have definitely tried to hit me there. Get up here. We could start this quest early if we wanted to. But considering this quest is supposed to be done a legit way, I'm going to do it a legit way. So I'll be back over here later. I feel like it deserves to have one proper showing of how it should be done. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to say the same for the fan quest because it would still require me to kill plenty of enemies. So actually, maybe I should do that part backwards. This means I've got to do it. Oh, I'm on this side of the fence now. Never mind. That was the diode from the start. It recognizes each diode is supposed to go to certain gates because that diode is not reacting to that gate. So alright, then we'll do it the unoptimal way, but nevertheless it'll still all get done. This quest up here, I'm not entirely sure if the enemies up here react to being charged. So that'll be interesting. Oh, they do. However, we can't do the quest because... Well, actually, yeah, we can. It doesn't require flame.
Oh, these...
It just requires us to spit balls, which is not the same as flame. So, that's fine. Yeah, we can do this quest. I'm kind of glad that we can do this because it would have been really unfair to the this challenge with how many orbs I've had to skip already by not being able to flame. There's quite a few in comparison to the other challenges. Maybe excluding Pacifist. Pacifist has also been quite limited so far in certain orbs. I was wondering when they were going to show up. Okay. Must resist urge to flame. Ooh. Ah, got you on the rebound. You fool. Oh, there's 4 guys that appeared this time around. That's more than usual. I'm used to only seeing 3 at a time, unless, like, I keep up with the balls. Right, he's gonna try and jump over me. No, he's not. Only if he gets backed into a corner. You guys still don't appear? Oh, you really put me to work on this attempt. There they are. They're just being petty. It actually makes that sound until they take an orb. So it'll keep making that sound until they've got one in their hand. We've got some villains down here. Let's go for these. Might as well put them back as we go to keep them spawning as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. Barely touched you, mate. He was like Neymar or something like that. Alright, he's going to try and jump over, so we're going to have to try and intercept him. Like that. Double jump really helps for that. Nice view of the start of the level over there as well. Or am I... Oh wait, no, that's the end of the level. Yeah, that's where that is. Okay. Take this to here. Where's the dude? There he is. Wow, he's been really crafty. You usually see them pretty quickly on where they're going to come from, but nope. That guy's playing a real game of hide and seek with us. We can see the last guy over there, so we can just clean up as we go. Hopefully I don't miss this guy, otherwise I gotta wait for him to disappear and despawn and then just respawn. I've heard some people experience... Oh, he does. If you leave him long enough, he does just despawn anyway. Interesting. Right, I've heard sometimes, like, one guy doesn't appear, which makes the orb unfinishable, but it's never happened to me. Ooh, got me that time. Get back here. Despawned and then respawned right in front of me. That was a bit unlucky for him. Right, where is missing a wall then? Did I miss one over here? That's 3. Oh, it's here. It's really far away from home. We now have electricity again, which seems pretty dangerous in a rain-orientated world.
Please, take it as a reward.
6 orbs. That's we're on like half as many orbs as the other challenge. That's pretty depressing when you think about it. Let's get this rat. Oh, we're still going to miss out on like one of the chests that we can usually get because of not being able to get the special power. The super chest, we're going to have to miss out on it. Luckily we can go through here back to front. So yeah, I was talking about doing this quest correctly, but I just remembered I can't. Because I can't kill enough enemies, I can only kill half of them. So I'm still going to have to do this quest incorrectly. So, my whole plan was for nothing. Never mind. Well done to those of you in the chat that probably figured it out before I did. That I wouldn't be able to complete what I was trying to complete. So we have to do the quest... Oh, he's doing the thing. Do it some more. Can you reach him up here? No, you can't, okay. That's where I thought. Oh, who's texting me? Can't you see I've got some important saving the world stuff going on? ManicX. Gonna have to turn this phone on quiet. Spare. Yoink! Overheard. I understand that probably wasn't really a yoink moment. And here we are, back where it all began. Buy those gems that I can't get. Not sure if you can get up on that geometry actually, because that may make the second part faster. No, it looks like it's a bit too high. See if we can get up on this gear instead, and then we might be able to make our way around that way. It turns out the gear is solid. How about this land? Yes, it is. Okay. And then, just in case there's a bit of a slant on that grass, we're going to do a double jump around and get onto this roof where there should be some kind of like roly-poly action. Bypass the puzzle. Speak to the guy over here.
Spyro, help! The switch to turn off the gear grinder factory isn't...
We don't even need to talk to that guy, I always forget about that.
Thanks for shutting down...
Give me orb. Okay, and then to save us a little bit of backtracking, I'm just gonna glide around here like so. So that we can just get to these gems that we missed earlier. All of the platforms are now stationary, so that's obviously nice. Although that fan, why is that fan going quickly? That fan should be going slowly. Maybe it will after we talk to this guy. Because it assumes then that you've got all the buttons, because as you can see, these fans are now slow. Well, one of them's going quickly, one of them just like slow down there.
You can have this little trinket for good luck. If you have any questions about...
Yeah. Thanks, James Watt. I'll take my orb and leave.
The next glides get tricky.
There is no more gliding. We've done every difficult glide that there needs to be at this point. Except up there, which is where I need to go. Should be able to get there from down here, though. Oh. That's gotta be doable. Yes, it is. Okay. Right, let's see what gem count I'm on. 368. So, assuming that the last box is where the remaining gems are, I should have everything I can get. Is that 3 orbs? Did I get 3? Yeah, 3 orbs, and I think that's all the gems I can get. I would assume the remaining gems are all in that silver crate. Can't think of where I've missed any. So yep, that's this level done. That's Hurricos done for... Ooh, rat proxy. I've never got a rat proxy by trying, ever. I've never once got a rat proxy by trying. I just got one by fucking mistake. Unbelievable. And we're 50% of the way there. So now I need to save once more, and then it's on to the glideless run. I realised I missed these 2 vases with 10 whole gems inside them as soon as I checked back the footage. So here they are. $17.19, so we got up 5%, that's a decent amount. Thanks to getting all the orbs and a little bit more gemage than the 19% one. So let's go, 15% for the glideless. So I think this challenge started as the highest one out of the 4. So let's see if that can continue into Hurricos, where you've seen so far I've been doing a lot of gliding. Alright, once again I need to change into the colour cheat code. Where's the image there? Okay, and the colour for glideless, is it yellow, I want to say? Let's have a look. Must be in this one here. Yeah, it's like a yellow, so let's try that out. Alright, so the code is the same again. Up, right, down, left, up, square, R1, R2, L1, L2, up, left, down, right, up, up. And there we are, yellow Spyro. Just gonna bring all my OBS and things back up so I can make sure it's recording the full screen again. Okay, so, no gliding. It's always hard to... I say this so many times, but it's true. It's always hard to remember what I can and can't do when you flip between the challenges as often as I've been doing. Oh yeah, always check that I got the secret vases, looks like I have. Okay, so we can continue. Alright, let's try not to play around so much, let's try and get everything as quickly as we can. Says that as he misses a vase that's literally just sitting there. Gem here. We're not well on our way today, Zoe, sorry.
Your game camera is currently in passive.
Sure.
Okay.
Now the camera's gonna move faster for us. Don't know why I thought there was a crate there. How many times have I played this game and I thought there was a crate right there? Alright, for the 3rd out of 4th time today. I'm literally doing this all in one day. Hurricos. The stage is going to get really tiresome after a little while, I can tell you that. I don't think I'll ever want to see Hurricos again. But this marks a special occasion. We can flame. We can charge. We can't glide. But no enemy is weak to gliding. Just got in the back of my mind whether or not on the chargeless run I got the skill point. I wasn't actually paying attention to how many fans I got, kind of just ignored that. Guess I'll find out at the end of the game. It doesn't count towards 100% anyway, so it doesn't affect scores. It's just more for an extra challenge, but even if I'm... Oh, no gliding. I can't put that gem back, but I can go back up there and just prove that it's possible to get up there anyway. So I was here, and I got a gem from there. There you go. So, as you can see, I could have made that jump even without gliding. Phew! Whew. Dear God. Don't do that to me. Wait, did I get the chest up there? No, I didn't. Why did I miss the 2 chests that are right up there? Oh yeah, because I was busy being full of regret for missing potentially 1 skill point, which I don't remember if I got or not. So we came down here, we did the thing. Now, we got an issue, is that usually we would just double jump up here. Okay, but these parts, they're too far for me to glide. Like, I can't make that without gliding, for sure. It's just way too far. Well, not way too far, but it's too far, is the point. So we're going to have to think of a different strategy to get that part of the level done. And I think I have an idea. It rhymes with block. Oh, you know what this means? It means that we need to do that really boring thief mission again. I guess I can look forward to the Pacifist run because I won't be able to do that in the Pacifist run as it involves brutally murdering. But yeah, another thing, you can also like double jump around there if you wanted to skip around, but it's not really going to solve any issues for us. We got to backtrack through here anyway, so I'm going to come back in here later for the stuff in here. This is where we would have ended up if we would have glid around, if that's a word. Glided, glided, gluded, concluded. Oh, we're gonna die if we're not careful. And I don't want to die because then it resets the windmills for sure. Let's get this butterfly. Spyro handing out butterflies just when you need them the most. Not gonna have that luxury in the Pacifist run. I can't personally kill the butterfly, but I can leave it trapped with no oxygen for a very long time. Let's see. Oh yeah, let's get the Talisman while we're down here. And this will be the challenge where I try and do some of the orb legitimately, but I can't do all of it.
You've deactivated all of the electric barriers. We've been guarding...
Yeah. Give him the Talisman, dude. As you're about to see, how many enemies have I killed? 21 out of 22. Somehow missed an enemy. Wait, it's Kevin. Where are you, Kevin? Oh well, we don't need you, Kevin. We can break open the stuff without you. Step 1. Also, I saw the enemy. I found you, Kevin. Alright, this is going to slow down that fan that requires us to glide to get to, so we can't do it. All of my plans for doing this orb correctly are all down the shitter. Can get this though, we can get these gems. Can also break open another fan to slow down this one. So ideally you're supposed to glide between fans, but you can see why that's an issue. Kill Kevin, because we found you at last. We're over here anyway, so we might as well get boring ass mission out the way. Enjoy the skill point while we can. Collect all gems there. Alright. Okay, talk to me, dude. Let's get this over with. Not sure actually if we need to talk to him to trigger the quest or if I can just start doing it. Because those guys keep coming to steal, like you literally cannot finish the quest on pacifist mode for sure. I seem to recall like I did an attempt at it in practice once and you can get to like 7 or 8 balls in the thing, but never enough to finish. They just keep coming. I'd need like an expert glitcher guy to get in on that if I wanted to see if it's possible or not. I might actually fast forward this section because you've seen it all already. It's not going to affect my gliding at all. Even if I was gliding, it would have zero impact on the quest, except mainly getting the guys a little bit sooner. No flaming was the main test for this one, but you know, that came and went already, so I love how the sprite they used for this is just the guy throwing like something between his hands, but the something's not there. Where did you get this ball from? Is it up here? Where are you? Oh, they didn't choose to come down here, interesting. They just chose to come here, it's fine. Oh, kind of a bit of a speed strat then. If you just get as many in as you can just focus your fire on this one guy repeatedly. You'll just keep reappearing to steal this one ball. I guess the last three are already in existence. Okay, he's over here. Let's just kill him quickly. I'm guessing one of the guys who spawned was in the original place. Just... No. It's one guy. There was one guy saving himself right until the end. There you are. Big on purple jelly monster. There we go. This is me returning the game to normal speed. Because, fuck, going through that. It was boring enough for me playing through it 3 times. It's going to be boring enough for you watching it 3 times. So on attempt 3, I'm just going to fast forward to that part if you hadn't noticed. Get back into trying to do this quest properly. That slows the fan down for us as well. Then we get to one of the more difficult fans in the game. This fan may take me more than 1 attempt. Let's see. Wow. I got that with a janky ass camera. Proud of me.
Spyro, yes.
Yeah. He starts the quest for us. Okay. Let's have some fun. Let's see if we can do most of the quest without gliding. Give ourselves a little bit of a challenge. Ooh, sweet. I can make that jump. Nope, not like that, I can't. Stop rushing. Do this correctly. There we go. Just required a little bit of patience. Including the patience of waiting for this fan to go around in a circle. Whoa. There we go. I should have nearly all of the gems at this point. Whoops. Gotta be careful here. It's a little bit risky with the moving platforms and all that. Okay.
Spyro, you... The next glides get tricky.
The next glides would be tricky. I don't think you can do this without... I don't think you can do this without gliding. You have to believe me when I say this. I tried it a couple of times. You get very, very, very close to making the jump. So we're going to have to think of a different way to get up there. I think I have an idea. Go over here. We can get up on this section. If we stay in the center, we should be able to make it along like so. We're supposed to use that fan to then get to that fan, but as you can see, it's as far as the initial jump, so we can pretty much safely assume we wouldn't make it. Drop down here instead. Pick up these gems. It's as close as the other jump, so that's a no. Alright, let's try and make this jump legitimately though. If you do the head jerk cheat, you can make this jump like that. I was just checking that because I know I can make this jump in a different way. It's just, I was seeing if it was possible, like a traditional way. I'm gonna load back and show a different way to get over there. Okay, the trick is that you actually don't go for that top section. You go for this lower section like this, and then you simply double jump up to this section, like so. Took a little bit of angling. I tried getting onto this particular rooftop quite a few times. I reckon it is probably possible with a very well-timed jump from up on that ledge up there. If you get some downward momentum, I was nearly making it. But then I came up with the idea to go for the lower section instead, and that just worked a treat. So now we go back down here because I need to now go for the alternate way to get the second orb, which would usually require gliding. Gotta charge out the whirlwind because it is kind of a glide. So we're gonna make our way back over here again to get back over to this section, to get back up here, and it really is just a nice straightforward walk for us to over here, like so.
Thanks for shutting down the factory.
You're welcome. Now I am a little bit confused because I'm missing 2 gems. And now I've activated that, I'm kind of a little bit limited. Oops. Bit of a silly death right at the end. But yeah, I'm a little bit limited on where I can think of this gem is. Oh! Right there. Wow, that scary sound played at the end for no reason. Interesting. Okay, that is the end of the glideless run. We can 100% Hurricos. That's not going to be too good for the other challenges that really have struggled to keep up with this challenge. Alright, let's do the final run of Hurricos. The pacifist run. After this, I never want to see or hear about a Hurricos again. And don't worry, there will be links in the description to tell you what time each challenge is if you wanted to fast forward through it. Let me just take a look at what the percents were here. 19, 17 and 20. Ah, so it's only ahead by a single %. Here we go, 13% pacifist run. And here we start again. Let's put in our blue cheat code. Sing it along one last time. Up, right, down, left, up, square, R1, R2, L1, L2, up, left, down, right, up, and blue. Don't quit game. Don't quit game and don't kill. This means we skip out on the skill points, obviously. So no windmilling for us in a non-sexual way. But yeah, if you haven't figured it out already, we should be up for 2 orbs in Hurricos. I can't think of anything that should stop me getting the 2 factory glide orbs. We're going to miss out on the 3rd orb, but there's nothing in that area anyway, so I'm kind of happy I don't have to do that again. It also means that I'm going to miss out on the gems that I would usually find inside that strongbox. So all in all, it shouldn't be a particularly weak run. Should be 2 orbs and like 75% of the gems, maybe 90. My math is bad. Maybe 80 to 85% of the gems should come out of this. Okay, don't want to watch the cutscene for the billionth time.
We've always had
Yeah. I don't care about your backstory. You're an unimportant character and I don't like you. Now I think about it, this would have been the perfect challenge to show off all of the tricks for, because I can't kill anything, so I want to try and avoid it as much as possible. So we're going to quickly go in here. You don't even need to speak to that dude. Turn off the machines. They'll just save us some aggro later.
Thanks for shutting down.
And I'll even go through to show you the alternate way to finish the level. Just go up here. You go up here and don't die. Oof, nearly happened twice in a row. There we go. Okay, you go up here. I lost one of my few lives because I can't collect any lives. So I had 3 lives left to complete the run without game overing. And yeah, so the end of the level's down here. You can kind of just drop down here and then glide into the end section of the level like this. So that's another way to finish the level early.
Thank you, Spyro.
Probably going to get hit by this guy, he's really hard to avoid. Yeah. Don't be tempted to kill the rat. Nearly went into a butterfly there. these enemies that patrol around are actually being quite difficult. So at least we got to see the idle animation of the guys being charged up. Oof, this is not going well. My first challenge with actual enemies is coming from avoiding these guys. Okay. Go past these guys again. Try not to die. Might be impossible. Luckily he was charging him up there. Then we can just get up here the sneaky way. Get these gems out of the way. Right over here. Complete this part of the factory glide. Oh wait, did I miss 2 gems down there? Are those 2 gems that I keep forgetting exist? They are. Now I'm really worried that I've missed them on like more than one run through. Don't kill me. Oh, there's a guy right next to the sweet spot where I want to go to. Leave me alone, please. I'd like to pass through here. Big proxy, big proxy. Thank you. There we go. Faster way to go down. Might as well go over here and get these gems while I'm up here. Just saves me a bit of aggravation later. Because then I can run through the level completely backwards, given that there's no detection, hit detection on certain areas. Go back down here. You're going to be stuck with no sparks until I die now, that's the issue. So it's the only way to replenish my sparks. Okay, that's all there is in this area. We need to go back in a very specific way to make sure I don't have to ring the roses again. Just through here. Get a Zoe so we're safe a little bit. And then just stay in here forever because I'm scared. This is not going to work. No, okay. Oh well, I get my sparks back. It's better than what I could hope for. Gotta be really careful where I charge though, because as I said, these patrolling enemies can really get in the way. Is there only a fan around here? Yes, there is. Okay, it's good to know. You'd think I'd know by now after literally being stuck inside Hurricos for about an hour now. A couple of gems here. That's as far as we have to go. In the section. Oh lord, I'm so sorry I nearly murdered you. That would have been a catastrophe. A ratastrophe. Another guy that I've just annoyingly avoid. These guys kind of remind me in annoyance of like Alpine Ridge kind of level of annoyance in terms of avoiding, but I'd say Alpine Ridge was one of the most difficult levels for the Pacifist run. Oh, what a beautiful rainbow. I haven't really paid attention to that. And the skybox over there in the back. I should probably do the chargeless approach at this point to make sure I don't kill anything. Because I've nearly ran into a few enemies at this point. It's just too risky. And I'd have to start the whole challenge again. Oh lord. Really? There is this occasional thing that happens where Spyro just stops jumping. Like he doesn't react to the jump button. That was one of those occasions. Don't know if it's my controller or whether it's the game. It's like you press it, but I think it seems to happen like when he's already on a bit of downward momentum. He kind of gets trapped in that downward momentum and then you can't like control him during that time. I might also be talking out my arse, but that's what it feels like. After playing Spyro 1 and 2, there are certain points in Spyro's movement where he just stops moving the way you want him to. I believe that's all the gems I can get. Oh. Yeah, the gems that I was trying to get when I died. How about those? Right, 1269. Okay, I can end my misery in Hurricos here. I feel depressed from being in this level for this long, but yeah, it's over, it's done. I can exit the stage and I can give you guys a percent for this run. Assuming I didn't miss any gems, that is. Because I did kind of power through the pacifist one because I just wanted to get out of Hurricos at that point. Yeah, I'm gonna let this play. 378 gems, pretty decent. Okay, let's save it one last time. Quit the game. Alright, final percentage for Pacifist after Hurricos. My guess is going to be like 16 or 17%. 17. Alright, cool. That is the end of this episode. Thank you for joining me on this long 1 hour journey. See you in the next one when we tackle a much more happy place, Sunny Beach. Bye. Remember when I said it was all over and that I didn't need to go into Hurricos ever again? Well, it turns out in the Pacifist run I was really silly and I only took away one orb, the Factory Orb Glide 2. I didn't take away the Factory Orb Glide 1. I just watched the footage back and saw that I didn't speak to this guy. I was right next to him, didn't speak to him to collect the orb. So yep, here's an extra orb for the challenge. Putting this challenge on 9 orbs. I'm not sure if that will have changed the percentage up from 17%. I guess I'll go out of the level and check.